My name is Honey, and I am your corporate summit 2024 anchor.
Now, this is
Now,
an
this is
amazing
an amazing
opportunity for
opportunity
people who are
who are
interested in
interested in
personal
personal
or
or
professional development.
professional
It is
development.
more
It is
than just
more
a
than just
summit.
a summit.
It is a
It is
meeting
the
of
meeting
like
of like
minds, of
minds,
captains
of
of
captains of
industries,
industries,
transformational thought
transformational
leaders
thought
like my
leaders
guest
like my
right
guest
now,
right now,
Reverend
Reverend
Walter
Walter
Mwambazi. Hi,
Mwambazi.
Rev.
Hi, Rev. Hey, nice to see you, honey. I will refer to you by your stage name, the name I know. And
Yes,
it's good to see you. We haven't, I think you haven't anchored me. No, no, no. I don't even remember when you actually anchored me on my show. Because, my show, sometimes you find they've changed presenters.
yes.
So, you guys will kind of do the cycle. And then until somebody kind of settles. So we've got no now. But I think I've had almost everybody at that station, with the exception of Kaliwa. Can you believe it?
Oh,
Actually
really?
anchor me. Really? Yes.
Oh, sad.
So good to know. Good to know. And it's good to see you after such a long time. But I
Indeed.
listen in that
I
mid morning
listen
thing.
to
I
you.
listen
I listen into your show,
into your show. Nice one.
and I
And
listen
I
into you
listen
on
into
Facebook
you
as
on
well.
Facebook as well. I'm stepping on a lot of live wires there. It's rough.
Yes, you are,
Yes,
Rev.
you are, Rev.
So,
Indeed.
Rev,
So,
tell us.
Reb,
This
tell us.
week is
This
the
week
much
is the much
anticipated corporate
anticipated
summit.
corporate summit.
What
Yes.
does a
What
summit
does a
such as this
summit
one
such as this
mean
one
to
mean
you?
to
What does it
you?
mean
What
for
does it mean for
professionals? Why
professionals?
is it a
Why
must
is it a
attend
must
summit?
attend summit? Okay, because as you know, Coach Ted for a long time has been running his different boot camps around different aspects of corporate and personal development. He's been really very consistent. I think we're kind of on the same level when it comes to how much he's been running with those. I've actually seen him even host some with his people out of the country, literally abroad. I think recently must have had something in Dubai. I think I saw that. So he's always been doing that. And so I think this time around he found it prudent to get kind of all the different things he runs under one roof in a series of days. And I think it's 2 days that he's going to be running this and bringing all aspects. So I've seen HR people there. I've seen there are a number of names I recognize. There's something on CEOs with Kazelimani, Madam Claire, and a whole bunch of other very well-known industry captains. So I think the idea with the summit here now is to kind of like get everything under one roof in as much time as humanly possible, considering that it's a working scenario. But I'm liking what I'm seeing, and I'm also bringing in a component to what is necessary for the corporate space, which is sales.
Yes. Now, speaking of sales, you will
Yes.
be
Now, speaking of sales,
delivering
you will be
a sales
delivering a
masterclass.
sales masterclass.
Without giving too much
Without
away,
giving too
Rev,
much away, Rev,
what will
what will
attendees be
attendees be
taking away
taking away
from your
okay from
masterclass
your
on sales?
masterclass on sales? Okay, so first and foremost, this one I can give away for free, the one I'm about to tell you. When it comes to sales, like when all is said and done, there are two things every business must have. Two things. One is the fact that that business must have its products or services being eyeballed by potential customers. So, what do I mean by that? I mean that one, come rain or shine, every business must have its product or service in front of their potential customers. If they don't do that, then forget it. So of course in marketing terminologies we use the term marketing. So that's business awareness. Let people know that you exist. So that's very, very important. Then the second one, which is I think it's even more important than the first one, but it can happen minus the first one, and that is transactions. I'm literally not just saying sales, but actual transactions where money travels from the prospect to your pocket and vice versa, from your pocket to your product to the prospect. So an exchange, a transaction must take place. So these two things are so critical. If we do not have the transaction on one end and we do not have the money on the other, then really nothing is going to happen. So in sales terms, this is absolutely cardinal. So that's what's going to be happening. So essentially, I'm going to be helping attendees, delegates, to learn the anatomy, the ABCs of a sale. What exactly is a sale? And no, I'm not doing practicals. I'm talking about actual. Sorry, I'm not doing theory, but actual terminologies and strategies that we use to close the sale. Because at the end of the day, if people are not going to buy, it's a waste of time. So yes, they're admiring, yes, they want to do it, but how do you push them? And one of the things I always tell people is that most people will buy between the third to the seventh contact. Imagine that. It's never the first one. Okay. So if you do not have persuasive skills, not convincing skills, I hear a lot of people say, "No, why did you convince them?" No, convincing. The difference between convincing and persuading is this: in convincing, I am kind of overriding your desire, honey. I'm saying, look, honey, I don't care. I'm going to override your personal ideas and desire and then get you to do what I want. So that's almost, it's very manipulative. In persuasion, I am getting you to see what is the benefit, why do this, and then you make the decision. So all I do is just shine a light and then stress all the benefits, why this is so important. And if I do a good job, you will buy. The only issue, I always say this, in you should only have two, I think it's two or three excuses when it comes to sales. The first one, and these are valid. The first one, they don't have the money at the moment to buy. The second one, it's come at the wrong time. The third one, they already have the product. But if you're a good marketer and sales lead generating person, you should be able to eliminate that third excuse I gave. They already have it. You should have done some prior lead assessments to know. Then now, when it comes to they don't have the money, again, there's a way you can kind of get to know and get that out of the way. So if they don't have the money, then you know. But there's another scenario with sales which a lot of people miss, and that is the decision makers are not present. So that's another very serious one which a lot of people miss. So all these we will be walking you through the ABCs, the literal anatomy of how you make high level sales. I've done a lot of high level sales. In fact, at one point they said I've got the gift of the gab, but it's really about a sequence. It's not even about talking. It's just about knowing how to present the right sequence to buyers, and you will close over and over and over. I mean, recently I had my own event where I had been asking so-called salespeople to do it for me. And the last two events, I was very disappointed. The numbers were way below normal. You know, in our industry, even if even if it's really bad, if you've done the homework with your leads, your closing percentage should be nowhere less than 10%. It should be way up there, like 30, 35%. That should be the closing rate, meaning one in three should be buying. This last two lot I used, they were giving me 3%, 4% closing. So I was so pissed off. I said, you know what? Let me just do this one this time myself. Let me see. Maybe Zambia has changed. So I did it. I did the sales myself, and I'm not exaggerating, honey. I did 2 out of 3 sales. For every 3 people I contacted, 2 were buying and paying. Not just saying I want to buy and paying. So 2 out of 3. So I realized, aha. So you see, it's the skill. People don't know how to close a sale. So that's what we're coming to teach.
Rev, you
Rev, you
could sell
could sell
sand to the
sand to
desert.
the desert.
Now,
Now,
lastly, again,
lastly,
with
again,
does
does
anyone have the
anyone have the
ability to
ability
sell?
to sell?
Could anyone
Could
be taught
anyone
the
be taught
ABC
the
as you
ABCs as you? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, yes. Because it's a sequence. It's not even about whether you've got the gift of the gab or not. It's just about knowing how to present the offer. That's a huge factor in selling. And this is where I even tell people that do not make the mistake of selling Corollas to somebody that can afford a Range Rover. So again, that has a lot to do with how you process the leads to know what the capacity of the buyer is, their taste and where they're located, their circle. And when you go to such circles, you sell high end products. So only when you talk to mass sales are a different story. So it's different psychology, different thinking. You got to understand that group as well. And if you understand them, you can also move a lot of products. But for me, being a salesperson in my sales background, I love high end, high ticket sales because one sale sorts me out for a week. You know what I mean? So I'd rather, in terms of my budget and operations, I'd rather sell high end products. And the key is if you're selling high end products, it's just to know where the market is because it's sad that we talk about the economic situation in Zambia, which is real, but I still get stunned. Just the other day, I was talking to one of my mentees, and they were telling me that one of their mentors runs a hair business and they're doing 1 million kwacha turnover monthly in
Month.
this economy. Monthly. I was like, so I learned a lesson that the thing is we're just in the wrong circles. I like for real. I'm actually coming to the conclusion that some of these circles are just wrong. So we need to get into the right network because, for example, the most expensive school in Zambia, no names mentioned, has a school fees of about $25,000 and they have a waiting list. Can you believe that?
Right.
Right. So that starts to show you, honey, that it's not true when we say that, nah, there's no money, I can't sell these products because there's no money. No, the truth is, what's your network? What's the circle you're in? Where are you pitching? Where are you fishing? So those are the things we're going to be kind of showing and teaching at the summit.
Rev, I'm even
Rev,
more
I'm even
excited
more
now for the
excited now
corporate
for the
summit. I
corporate
have
summit.
so
I
many
have so
questions
many questions.
that I want to
and,
touch
and the
on.
time is up, isn't it?
Yes, and
Yes,
I
and
shall hold my
I shall hold
horses
my horses
until the
until
corporate
the
summit
corporate
this week,
summit this week,
Wednesday and
Wednesday and
Thursday.
Thursday.
Thank you so much,
Yes.
and
Thank you
we'll
so
see
much,
you
and
at
we'll
the
see you
legacy
at the
resort.
legacy result.
Thanks, Rev.
Thanks, Rev. Yes, thanks.